hello. Oh, my mic's a bit low. How's that? That's lower. How's that? Yep. Okay. I got it workins. We got it workins. Yes, we do. This is the end of everything. What do you mean? What do you mean the end? Quiet, Talia. Ah. Anywho, hello everybody. Hello. Let me actually get on the online screen. Hello. I forgot to change Natalia to a different Natalia, but it's fine. It's whatever. Actually, we'll just leave it as leave it as you got Natalia. Yay! Hello everybody. Hello. Welcome to the law stream, the stream of law of your law. Now, I will say now, this will be scuffed. This, I kind of realized at the last minute, like, oh wait, I have no visual. Give me a second, actually. One second. Oh crap. One second. You can enjoy the keyboard ASMR for a second. Let's get that over there. This may be scuffed, but we want it to be at least semi-professional. Maybe one day I'll remember in time. Anyway, we're back. Let's forget about what just happened. The calm before the yap. Vampire. Wait, why are we talking about vamps? Why are we talking about vampires? Yukata Talia is one of my favorite Talias. I like it too. She's very cute. Let me see, can I move it? That's not Natalia. Can I move her up at all? Anyway. Oh my gosh, I'm showing off thigh. How scandalous, YouTube. Don't kick my ass, please. Anywho, welcome in, Diamond. Congrats on the first message. Yeah, we're getting low today. The gaping hole that is the abyss. Ah. I'm not as good as Gargura with it, but I do my best. Salju, welcome in. Dragon, welcome. I think Matt will enjoy dissecting this frame by frame. Ah. Oh, I will explain how this is gonna go in a second, okay? Nat, can I do a video essay on your law after the stream? This is primarily a joke, but I might actually do if you say yes. If you want to do it, you are more than welcome to do it. There's a Gyaru. Tell me more. Forget about Nat. Embrace Gyaru. No, our fish is better than a Gyaru. Well, as soon as YouTube money comes through, we're gonna have Gyaru Nat anyway, so you can have the best of both worlds. Also, yes, I'm still sick. I am on the mend. Finally, I've had this bloody flu for like a week and a half. Probably should have gone to the doctors about it, but I didn't. So I don't care. can't get mad at myself. Can't complain about it when I'm this basic of a bitch about it. But you know, yeah. Let's go fish lore stream. 5 minutes. Hello. Oh, crow. Welcome in, Carney. I shall embrace the Gyaru if she chooses to embrace me. Matt Pam, welcome in. Yes, it is law time. Same with you, Anakin. Law time. Let's go. Hello. Zero, welcome in. Doello, hello. Let's see. Regret. Hello. Welcome in. Count Dooku. Hello. Na. I was 1 minute late on the fan. No, FNAF law. Maybe one day. We're going to be playing FNAF hopefully next week. Maybe a bit later, depending on a couple things, but maybe one day we can do a FNAF law stream. Sari, welcome in. Gaby, welcome in. Let's see who else there. Mr. Fawn, hello. I hate these stream starting screens. I need it to prep. I need it for my prep, unfortunately. I know it feels like a waste of time, but I need it. Flappy, hello. You are not going to eat the Kumo. No. Logan Bloom, welcome in, welcome in. Finally, I'm able to catch one of her streams. Congrats for finally catching one. I don't know why I said congrats, but thank you so much for joining. Thank you, thank you. KB and Starjo are probably excited as children now because KB's always asking about lore and Starjo have more material for their fanfics. I hope you guys do enjoy it. Let's see, is there anybody else? Oh, Blackheart Margo, first time being here for one of these? Well, thank you very much for joining. I appreciate it greatly. Let's see, who else? Oh, Scrangle, hello, hello, Mr. Red Hat. What's a gyaru? A gyaru is a type of style over in Japan where it's like the ones where you see, think of Madding, if you've seen Dress Up Darling, Dress Up Darling, Marin Kitagawa from that is a gyaru. Though a lot of them, she's quite kind of like a soft gyaru. A lot of gyarus will be like, will bleach their hair and it will be really like curly and stuff, and they'll tan their skin, and other than just like over-accessorize, yes, but it's not over-accessorizing in that bit of fashion, but by the by. And then, they'll wear like a lot of makeup. So it's like, yeah. That's the kind of style it is. Lone Wolf, welcome in, welcome in. I was busy playing for a second. Hello, fellas. It's alright, Abyss. Welcome in. Let's see. That should be everybody who's in chat. If you are not in chat, also, thank you very much for joining. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So, here's how this stream is going to go. Oh, crap. So my thought process on this was, I want to talk about my lore. However, that might not be... First off, I don't want to give everything away just yet, but this will go in a lot more depth than what I have previously said. Second off, my main concern was time, but I also wanted this to be a bit more of an interactive stream. So even though I will be talking about my lore here, I will also be drawing in parallels to, I will be using this as a way to not tell people how to write their lore, but give advice on how to treat certain characters and how to like just do lore in general kind of thing, just from the perspective of me who's I hesitate to call myself a writer, even though I write a lot of ASMR scripts and I have wrote VTuber lore for some friends before, but yeah, from the perspective of someone who has dabbled in this kind of writing, in short form writing, I suppose is the best way to put it. So yes, I have about, not including this thumbnail slide, I have like 5 other slides, one talking about your VTuber persona / the main character of your story, one going over side characters, one going over companions or like mascot characters, which obviously is Lil Kumo in the corner, and then also environment, which probably a better word for it would have been setting, but at the time I was just quickly scrambling to put this together. Environment just came to my head first. So, Gyaru you'll be drawing? No. I want to see a Gyaru. I need to listen because I'm out of trust. No, you're right, so thank you, Sarah. Thank you. You're right, so therefore a writer. Thank you, Skunkle. Your HW, what the frig did I miss in chat? Wherever you're gonna go grab a coffee, go grab your coffee and get yourself all ready for the knowledge I am to impart. I was just because I was learning Blender. That's alright. You can learn Blender in the background. This isn't gonna be like a visual stream really. This is mainly gonna just be a talking stream, like just talking essentially. I made a hat on a block. Ooh, nice. Writing is very fun. It is very fun. Girl, if I wasn't eating lunchies, I would offer you live illustrations. Thank you. Sorry. But thank you very much for the kindness. Larry, thank you. Important question. Anybody from New Zealand have illustrations fire? Maybe one day we can do that. Me and Sari, or just Sari by herself. I don't know. Depends if she wants to do it with me. That sounds bad. I don't mean it like that, Sari. I'm sorry. Shows your drawing skills. I'll post my progress on the Discord. Nice, can't wait to see. Soon Kuma will be 3D. Yes. Okay. Well, first things first. We are going to move on to your persona / main character. Okay. The way I figured I would handle this is that first off, I'm going to ask people what they want to know, and then afterwards I would be able to, once I've told people enough about what they want to hear, I can then draw parallels from how I've wrote, I don't know English. Writer, everyone here, writer right here. I can draw parallels between my writing and the advice I'm going to give. Yeah, shows your drawing skills. Hold up. You know what? Screw it. Let's see. You know what? Screw it. You know what? Ah! I didn't mean to do that. Okay, there we go. 1 second. Oh, how the heck do I? Oh, hold up. Okay, let me open it up first. Oh, it is open already. Oh yeah, again, sorry for the coughing. For anybody who's just come in chat, sorry for the coughing. Why the frig won't it show me? Okay, 1 second. Trying to delete something. Hot pot, oh my god. I'm a Michigander and I'm never moving. That's fair do. If you love the area where you live currently, why move away? Yes, would like to move that one. There we go. Okay, and then game capture be the thing? I guess it is. Where is it? Is it because I got it full screen? Is that the issue? What's going on here? What's going on here, huh? What's going on here? Okay, now it's picking it up good. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh god. God. Okay, we're getting some live drawing here. Okay, this is gonna be absolutely awful. I'm just letting you guys know. An artiste I am not. Alright, there we go. Let's just see, is it picking up? It's picking up. Okay. 1 second, actually, I just want to... I don't know if it's gonna show up when I open my files, and there's nothing on my files that is bad, but I just don't want to, like... don't want to be going through my files, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh! There's something on there shouldn't be. But there... Not that, actually, that's wrong. There's... I accidentally opened... I don't know. How do I insert? I can't insert shit. Fuck. Never mind. Okay, I guess we're not opening files on Paint. We're just gonna be... You get my amazing stick figure art. Hooray. There's Natalia. There's Natalia. Okay, so we have Natalia. That looks so good. Talking about this how I tried never again. I do actually, surprisingly, I actually do have a drawing tablet, but I don't know how to hook it up to stream, and we're already like 20 minutes in, so We're on MS Paint game. That's beautiful. That's shut up. Shut up, don't talk to me, shut up. This is a quick thing. This is a quick thing. Okay, so where's the grab tool? Where's the grab tool? Where's the grab tool? Oh, that's the scroll in tool. That's not what I wanted. I want to scroll out now, please. There we go. Where's the grab tool? Do they not have grab tool? There, we got layers. We have layers. I can add layers. Wow. Jesus Christ. Alright, let's get that off. How do I grab? As you can tell, I haven't used this in a while. Oh, there it is. Right frickin' there in the corner. Alright, so we have cute little Natalia just going along, enjoying her day. This isn't how the wall goes. The stinky cigarette, come looking for it. What do you mean this literally? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to... What the frig? What the frig? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Okay, I've done something. I've done something and I don't know how to reverse it. Okay, it's gone. I murdered Natalia. No, when she's back. Okay, actually, I do... Hold up a sec. I should probably draw a slightly different Natalia for this. Okay, so... Okay, so I'm gonna introduce two factions real quick. That's too skinny. I'm going to introduce two factions very quickly. I have a crayon. We're gonna use the crayon. It looks like the ocean. Okay, that's my justification. Ah, went too far. Okay, let me try again. I'm trying to make this like semi-equal. Okay, let's see. Alright. On one side, we have these. This is gonna be an obvious faction in the world. But here we go. On one side, we have the sirens. The burbs of lore. You can't call them sea chickens just yet. You can't call them sea chickens. Ignore the beak. I'm just trying to make it clear they're bird people. We have bird people, okay? We have bird people. Look at this majestic bird. That was such a horrible one. I'm so sorry. That poor bird person. Okay, we have burb people. We have the burbs. We have the burbs. And then on the other side, we have I'll give you 3 guesses for what this group is. We have the merfolk. Oh god, they're so off-center. I'm not even gonna bother with the faces. I don't know what to do for faces for merfolk. There we go. There we go. Here we go. You know, I'll give them eyes and little smiles. Give them eyes and little smiles, even though they're not smiling in lore. You have smiles. Fun smiles. That's the wrong kind. I'm trying. Oh hey, welcome in, Slayer. Welcome in. Welcome in. Wait, so I like the ones I put in the oven or seasonal. Turkey noise. Are these Nat's relatives? Technically they're Nat's relatives. Okay, so the relationship. So we have the sirens over on this. Oh, give me a second. Let me find a. So we have the sirens. We have the We have the sirens over. Oh, crying. Pick it up. What's it? What final time? We have the sirens over on this side, which are just flapping about in the air, enjoying their days as bird people, and eating sailors and whatnot. And then on this end, I'm just gonna have to press the reverse button after this. We have the merfolk who are just swimming about under the seeing, enjoying their jobs as nature's protectors. But then, along comes a force that they both kind of should have seen coming, but at the same time they were like, nah, we're fine, nothing could possibly ever happen. Nothing could possibly ever happen here with us. You guys want to know what that force is? That's gonna come between these guys? You want to know the force that's gonna force these two to interact, actually? Because, like, before this, let's just say before this, they knew of each other, but they were kind of just like, meh, about each other. That is a silly to convert. I mean, yeah, I kind of am. Love. Oh no, not animated for blue lock. Oh my god, my secret is exposed. My deuces. Fracking a person. Somewhat. It was... humanity. Just imagine there's multiple of this dude. Just imagine there's multiple. I'm just gonna give him a top hat because I don't know what else to use to represent humanity. 'Twas humanity. Actually, now I know what to do, what to represent them with. Specifically, the motherfuckers in a certain church. Back when they were thinking like, oh, we could just denounce all stuff in, you know, the world and just say like, oh yes, we can just bastardize a bunch of mythology. Oh yeah, this is, you know. This is, you know, kind. You know, kind. It is a very gonna get down. Somewhat, yes. So for some actual real life lore, quote unquote, originally, so at one point, obviously, people started seeing sirens as having fins, which is really random. Which may seem really random, or like you might be like, why would they start seeing them as having fins and stuff instead of their typical wings, which they no longer have? They're just seen as like, they're just seen like the mermaids. Oop, made that too big. Just made that one too big as well. Retry. They're just seen like the mermaids. That is because it's unclear exactly what happened, but, or at least from what I've read, basically they heard about, the church heard about sirens, and they were like, oh, people in the sea, clearly they must have fins like merfolk, except they don't. So that was a bit of an issue. Let me just spam backwards so I don't have to erase a bunch of stuff. And because of that, these guys started not liking each other, because a force in Natalia's world is belief. It is a tangible force in this world that the more, okay, so it's the reason why certain, take it like, take, what's it? Zeus, for example. We're gonna give the man a lightning bolt because I can't draw anything else. This man's he's holding a lightning bolt. And he's got those long, luscious locks everyone draws him with in the epic animatics. And so he's like, because so many people know about him as king of the gods, he is uber powerful. He is super duper powerful, and it also means its belief in this world is so important that it means that without it, Zeus wouldn't exist. The only reason mythological or legendary or any such creatures in Natalia's universe exist, the only reason that we can exist is because people believe in us, because we have a certain amount of belief, like, coming our way. And this doesn't just apply with sirens or with mermaids, with Anglo-Saxon legends, with Greek mythology. This applies to everything. This applies to demons. This applies to Aztec gods. This applies to even stuff like King Arthur. King Arthur does in fact exist in this world, but only because there is a certain a certain percentage of people in the populace that believe in him. Noragami mentioned. It is a bit like Noragami. It is a bit like Noragami. Peak storytelling and peak animation. Thank you so much. Yes, so because of that, these two groups started not liking each other very much. The sirens were like, wait a second, I collect the select tool. They were like, we don't like that you guys exist because that means that our way of life is getting destroyed. We're losing our folks of our kind are losing our wings, looking more like mermaids, and we're just getting more associated with what you guys do rather than just being able to be our own separate identity. And on the other end, the mermaids are like, well, we don't like it either, because you guys eat people and just are really cruel and all that, but mermaids are meant to be protectors of the sea, so the more that people associate you guys with us means the more people are starting to think like, oh, the mermaids are bad people that hurt people when we just want to protect the earth, we want to protect the oceans and the sea creatures. And so it's all just a bit of a hullabaloo, and there's just like a whole load of bad juju between the two. Hello Kiefer, welcome in. Can we get some reverse yandere in this, please? I mean, we're kind of about to. Volable. Welcome in, Volability. I'm like, welcome in, Darkest, welcome in. As a freak out, I got a Raider Suit size you kind of looking when I'm chatting with my god. Lock in, guys, this is the lore. Yeah, so because of that, a lot of bad vibes going on. A lot of bad vibes. But there are two individuals who are like, don't give a shit. And we just redraw them, so I can't be asked to properly draw. There were some who were just like, they didn't give a shit. Or at least at the time they didn't give a shit. Foreboding. Yeah, so a mermaid and a siren. Got tiny arms. This is a very simplified version of the lore, if you can't tell. Momtalia and other Momtalia. Yes, this is indeed the mothers. This is the parents of Natalia. So the parents of Natalia, they met by accident. I won't specify how, because that is something I am going to be holding off on explaining till later, because it is somewhat important. But yes, the two of them met, and they fell in love, and bingle bangle shingle shangle. I'm on the wrong thing. Wha-pow. Wha-pow. Actually, just... It's your baby! Who laid the egg, though? Okay, I will just quickly confirm, in universe, mythical creatures don't typically give birth in the traditional sense. It's more of just like, they fall in love. It's like it's just kind of materialization. Just 1 minute, they're just hugging on the couch, next minute, oh look, it's a baby. And I will give you one guess as to who this baby is. Or doth thou think so, Minecraft? Yes, Minecraft reading. Who doth you think this baby is? John. Ariel, Nat, the baby's scary, the baby is cool, you know, for real. Well, I need to tell you that some of you are right, but also wrong at the same time. Because there were two! There were two babies! There have been two births. John the baby. Oh, I swear to God. Your sister. There were twins. We doth have twins up in this bench. I unfortunately do not have art of Natalia's twin, but Natalia is actually a twin. Natalia is an evil twin, let's go. Is it your sister and you, that sister? Yes. This is Natalia and her sister. They doth be born from the same love Minecraft breeding session. I duplicated what was your sister's name though. Alrighty, let me just find. So this one is baby Natalia. If I can just make this a bit bigger. Okay, 72 is gonna have to do. Nope, not what I meant to do. Can I click that? Apparently not. Okay, well, we're stuck with Natalia being there. And then this one, this little baby over here. Should I make you guess for her name, or should I just tell you outright? Not Talia, that was it's not Talia, oh my god. I will tell you now, this babu's name is... Sorry, just search about to write it again, I forgot how to write it. This is Natalia. This, we have... Also, Natalia isn't her real name. It isn't her real name. You doth have been lied to, I'm afraid. How do you even go back? Natalia is the name she goes by now, but at birth 'twas not her name. 'Twas not, so technically baby Natalia didn't exist, but you know, technically she did. Natalia is not her real name. Her true name is Tiffany. Yes, that is not Natalia's true name. But you know, if you guys want to try guessing her name, her real name, it's not too different from Natalia, but it is like, it isn't exactly Natalia. But yes, let me just... Actually, I can just erase it all, can't I? All gone. But yes, as time... But then, issues arose... Okay, the wrong button. Issues arose because, like I said, the merfolk and the sirens do not like each other, so they did not like this because the existence of the giant babies, the existence of the babies, the existence of these two babus, the fact that they exist could therefore imply a merging of sirens and mermaids in the future. So they were like, both in unison were essentially like, we don't want these around us. We don't want people considering them attached to us. We don't care that they have the DNA of both sirens and mermaids. We do not claim them. We do not want them around. Get them out of here. Yeah, now, who is Care, a Vtuber? I don't know. Wait, so are like twins? The twins themselves aren't bad omens, it's just what they represent. It's what me and my sister represented in the fact of, because the sirens and the mermaids were so afraid of being considered the same entity and losing their own individuality of their races, they saw these babies and they were like, oh shoot. They were like, oh shoot, if people know these two exist, they're gonna start considering us of the same kind. And then people's consciousness, their belief, is gonna start merging us more and more until we don't have individuality anymore. We're like essentially the two believe that if these two are discovered to be alive, or like if any humans see them, they're gonna be like, well, I guess we're getting merged. But they don't want that. So they tell... How do I flip this? I can't flip it. Okay, whatever. They could just face this way. So these guys, they tell totally Natalia and Nephili's parents, hey, We don't want him around. We think the fact that you guys even did this, despite what's going on with human belief and everything, is disgusting. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. And they're all like, well, shit, fine, bye. And then they were gone. And then we're gonna... Bacon. Bacon! Oh my god, bacon! Bacon's here! Oh my god, bacon! Bacon jump scare with the British accent. Broccoli, welcome in. Bacon jump scare. Yes. We have bacon in here to jump scare. And next thing that happens. Time skip. We have a time skip. Rubba-dubba-dibba-dip. There is some stuff that goes down during this point, but it's not ready to be shareable. AKA, I want to keep it hidden. For now. But yes, then, finally, we can draw adult Natalia. Though her design at this point is a bit different. Ignore how bad her spine is. Yes, we have Natalia, and we have her sister, who I'm just gonna draw in the inverse. Hubba-doo. You know what, we're gonna do the twin thing where we just give one of them glasses for no reason. She doesn't wear glasses, but she's just there. She's just there. She's giving a thumbs up. You got the two, and they love each other very much. This is the part where I have to be a bit more vague. Natalia, lore ASMR, essentially. I've always kind of wanted to do a lore-related ASMR, so maybe that can be something in the future. But yes, we have Natalia and we have Nefeli. I genuinely don't know which the pronunciation is. I probably should know, but you know, we're here. So yes, we have Natalia, who is okay. So literally, I know when you'd be like older twin, younger twin, but these two literally spawned into existence at the exact same time, so you can't really do that with them. But Nefeli is like a little bit shorter, so she gets called the little one, the little sister all the time because she is literally smaller. Nefeli is the little one, and then you have Natalia, myself, who is the bigger one. And then you have the parents somewhere off to the side over here. I don't want to draw them again. So basically, yeah, these two, they're just chilling. They're enjoying their lives where they have both tails and wings, as you may have seen from certain art that is in fact canon. Yes, they have both the wings. She's still giving a thumbs up. And the tails. And they're both just kind of chilling at this point. They would be like, I can't really say how many years it is because these guys are of the immortal variety. XGC, I thought, but you both look the same height that we don't talk about it. I had the wings be their arms, because that's how it is. Like, sirens have wings as arms. They can at certain point. The next thing that I was about to say is they can shapeshift between this and back to like their more humanoid forms, and they can like mix match a bit. Like Natalia can have her tail, I can have my tail out if I want it, and then Nefeli can just have wings and still keep doing the thumbs up. She can still keep doing that if she wants, but primarily because they, you know, they're family and stuff, and there's no reason for them not to at this point. They just hang out in their like their true forms. These are their true forms. These are mine and my sister's true forms. We're just like, yeah, we're chilling out, doing siren-made things, basically being kept away, hidden away from just everybody, Like, they're just like, just imagine that thing with Rapunzel. Just imagine that thing with Rapunzel, like this is, There's just like a wall, and then there's just the rest of the world out there in the vast blueness or something. I don't know how to put it, but yeah. So they're chilling in isolation, and this may be a bit of a surprise, but genuinely, I wanted to get through a bit more. I got a bit of genuinely, they don't care. They don't really care. They're whatever about it. They're like, we have each other. We have each other. Why should we care about that outside world? It's dangerous. We've been told about it. We can chill. Occasionally there'll be some fish we can talk to or some birds, because that's a thing we can do. We're chill. But then, amazing art. I'm gonna figure out what Tales of it. Isolation, not isolation stream. When? Oh god. What is going on in chat? Oh my god. But yeah, okay, so... But then... Here comes the sad part. Tragedy struck. Look, it's all getting torn down. And there's just like... There's chaos going down. Something has happened. What is going on? All their defenses are going down. Oh no. And they're like, shoot, we gotta run. We gotta get out of here. And I can't get more specific about this event because it's being saved for later. But yeah, so they're like, we gots to runs. I just wanna know who Care or Sarah. Oh. I just wanna know who. Do you mean Chiuta and Shisei? They're gonna get brought up at some point. Kumo would say it wasn't Kumo. It wasn't Kumo. But yeah, at this point, they're like, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here. So they try to escape. They do their flying thing. I can't specify who attacked just yet. But yeah, stuff happens. So they try to fly away. At this point they have legs, because why not? Control C. They're both like flying away. But the issue is, like I said earlier, Zeus exists. And you can either blame him for this, or you can't. But then there's a thunderstorm going on as they're escaping. And in the chaos of everything, more stuff happens. And it's like, no, not too so their wings like an albatross or an eagle, kinda. It's just like very big wings. It helps them, they can fly basically anywhere. We can, see, this is how you face me. So it's an op, he's an op. They turn orange, yes, they turn orange. That's how Natalia gets her top, that's how I get my top in my canon design, which I barely ever use these days. And yes, and then the next thing you know is all goes black for Natalia. It all goes black for me, and I have no idea what the frig is going on. I'm just kind of like, the next thing I know, I'm on a motherfucking beach. I'm just like, I'm just like, what the fuck happened? Where the fuck am I? Where's my fucking sister? And I'm genuinely just like freaking out, because like, where the frig has my sister gone? Where's my sister? What happened? And I don't have time to think about that because the people, the group that came after, that attacked, they're still coming. They're still coming after me. So I'm like, oh shit. Huh. And then and they're like, you ain't getting away that easily. Huh. And it's just like, next thing I know, there's sand still, but then there's land with green shit. I'm like, what the f- And I'm just over here like, 1 second. I'm just over here like, what the fuck is this? Oh, I saw this green shit. I never saw this when I was away. Oh shit, I'm still getting chased. Ah! And then just insert the person chase. We're coming to get you. Ignore the fact that we look the exact same as you. Ah! Okay, I know. I'm about to replay this shit to pretty everything I've not looked in. God damn it. God damn it, Kimmy. And it's just like, ah. And then everything is green. Everything's green, and there's the people who are chasing me are just like, we've got you now. You're gonna die today, or some shit. I don't know, whatever bad guys say. And I'm over here like, what the fuck do you want? I didn't do anything. I was literally just existing. And they were like, that's the whole point. What? And the next thing you know, this is an arrow. What the fuck was that? What the frig was that? Yo. What the fuck? And then yeah. that is how Natalia gets a Mithria. That was how Natalia gets. I thought Natalia got shot. Nah. Stop the living each other and tell, bro. And that is how Natalia gets to Mithria. By having absolutely no freaking clue. Dude. I was so named on amazing. Yeah, so that's how Natalia gets to Mithria. And then that she's there. There is stuff happens afterwards, but that's kind of like the main shit of how she gets to where she is currently. She just told away with it. She wasn't even conscious, man. She wasn't even conscious. She's just like, okay, I'm here now. And so yeah, she arrives in Mithria, and she's just like, I have no clue. My sister is not with me. I don't like that. And the next thing she knows, she's just getting accosted by this, like, by this person, like, I'm just gonna try to do her hair. This will be she say. This will give me 1 second. Oh crap. I forgot if they're still the same thing as that. 1 second, let me draw them both first. They are color coordinated, so you should be able to tell when I show you them. Long hair. These are Shisei, who is the one in blue, and Chuta, who is the one in red. And they're like, hi, we heard you're new to this place. We're not gonna ask if you're good, because nobody who ever comes here ever is. But we just want to let you know we can, like, totally set you up with stuff. We're just here if you need us. Also, would you like a dog? What's a dog? And then, who would come bounding in but the amazing, the adorable 10 out of 10 fan art right here. The amazing, the adorable Kuma! Except Kuma can't speak at this point.
Yeah, I couldn't speak at this point. I couldn't speak. I was just going meh, 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 and I was biting people's heads. I was like, that was actually a problem I had. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's kind of like just biting everyone's heads. And we just kind of thought like, I don't know, you guys have wings. Maybe you can bond over wings or something. Sure, I can try. Hey buddy, do you like flying?
Oh god, I got cut.
Oh crap, 1 second.
Well, I can't really fly because my wings are too small for my body.
Well, you're in luck. Sorry, I'm taking your Hershey saying, well, you're in luck. Whew! Oh my god, I'm flying! Whew! 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 So we cool?
Oh, we are totally cool.
Thank fuck! It's like, oh, okay. Well, we're gonna show you to your house now. Actually, I kind of want to live on the beach. Cause like, I just want to make sure my sister turns up and stuff. Okay, alright. Yeah, sure, you can do that. You can do that. That's, If that's what makes you happy, hun, you can go and do it. But just, like, make sure you're okay, alright? Because somehow you managed to bring people with you. We don't know how the hell you did that, but we're gonna kind of need you to make sure people don't do that anymore. Okay. Oh, crap, we dropped everyone. Okay, how do I do that? Okay. This is top... I keep grabbing everyone. Okay. This is top secret information. You cannot tell anybody else. The way that you can help us out is... not gonna be revealed today! We got Natalia's lore after this first. Actually, that was great. That's fire. At least she got a job. Yeah, she got a job. Bruh. Cliffhanger. Is our sister having her super villain arc off camera? And I know what the name of the NZ person you mentioned before. Is it Claire or I don't know anybody from NZ, I'm afraid. She a hobo though. God damn it, sticking fish, bro. Listen. We gotta focus on more than we're getting at. Yeah, there is lore now. You guys have something of my lore now. How do you feel? How do you feel? You feel good? You feel not good? Either way. Oh god, that was a horrible head. That's what she said. Or he said actually, but either way. That is the amount of lore that can be shared right now. Alright, see. That is the Natalia lore for what is the time being. That is what you will know. Analysis, Kolsky analysis. This is not enough. I need more to consume. I feel great, honestly. We'll be rewatching and writing, but I think I already know most of this. Give you analysis. I mean, I'm happy to after I kind of explain stuff here, like the writing side of things. I am more than happy to answer some more questions about some specifics. I think the biggest reveal that I did today was the sirens and mermaids, but I am also willing to answer about more details about Mithria, more details about Shisei and Shita, which I will say some when we get to their slide. I just couldn't get into it enough in the lore because it's Natalia's lore. Get film theory on this ASAP, man. If they could, I would be happy, but I doubt it. Is she, are you ageless? She said ageless, but you did not exist at the same time your parents did. It's, okay, it's weird. It's weird in the sense of, okay. I will explain this because I did say this to Stalgio when they were asking for stuff for the, oh crap, for about the fic. Okay, so, that's too big. There we go. Oh, wait. Sorry. You gonna come back? You gonna... Ah, crap, I shouldn't have done that. It's gonna take a minute to load, sorry. So... Okay, it's back, hooray. So we have... Natalia's parents here. And we have... yeah, so Natalia's parents here. Natalia and Nathalie's parents. My parents are here. They're here. The most awkward tale I've ever drawn in my life. Hold on, I actually hate that. Give me 1 second. There we go. That's like marginally better. The god will pull up cookies just so we forget that's true name if we found out. The immortal creature trying to figure out their human age equivalent struggles TM. In trouble with the gods if we know your true name. You won't get in trouble with the gods. It's just more of a personal thing. It's more of a personal thing because I'm like, it's the wound from the incident that happened, and it's the change of name was to rectify or feel like I had some form of control over parts of the events, or like I have control now moving forward. I cannot specify more than that, I'm afraid. But basically, as I said, when it comes to... Oh, wrong thing. When it comes to mythological baby making in this world, it's literally just... explosion of love makes Natalia and Natalie and everybody else in the world. It makes or like mythological babies, unless it has a specific origin story, like the Pegasus or any of the gods or just anything in general. Unless it specifies how they're born, just assume that it was just like a poof thing. The reason why Natalia is technically considered... 1 second. That was meant to be an A. It's technically considered ageless is because her entire existence is, as I said, is dependent on belief. 1 second, I would try to just like... Let's get rid of this. Let's turn that to black so people can see this a bit more easily. So, as I said, belief in this world, in Natalia's world, and for... Did I spell belief wrong? I think I spelled belief wrong. 1 second. I spelled it right the first time. What am I doing? It just looks weird. Okay. Belief in this world is life for mythological creatures like the sirens, like the mermaids, like demons, like every mythological creature, even gods. Even gods, they are completely reliant on belief to live. If they don't have belief, they are not alive. And while Natalia was technically born, if it had not been for the circumstances of the ideologies of sirens... if it had not been for the ideology that sirens and mermaids had some form of link, they were in some way linked, then she would not have been born. And if ever a situation happens where sirens and mermaids just stop being associated together, if that ever happens, ever, just for like a single moment, guess who ceases to exist? Guess whose entire existence is eradicated from history, with only being a faint thought in the back of people's minds, and even then, it's a lucky chance if that happens. Natalia's a baby made out of convenience, huh? Yeah. Had a joke about pizza, but it was too cheesy. Oh my god. The unit folds in on itself and a wormhole is created. Wouldn't you both just merge? Don't go now. Don't whisper. Well, this is... Provided people know I exist, I'm good. But if, again, if the collective consciousness of humanity... If humanity just decides... Nah. That's lame. I can't fucking spell. I'm writing with fucking cursor. That's lame. Yeah, if people just decide, like, the idea of sirens and mermaids being associated as lame, then guess whose head is on the chopping block? Guess what? Pairs of sisters aren't gonna be around no more. It's like Santa Claus being real. It is like Santa Claus being real. So belief means immortal. Yes. As long as belief exists, as long as belief is a thing, the lifespan is infinite, or at least the race's lifespan is infinite. However, that doesn't mean that death is not a thing. I should specify. That doesn't mean that Natalia I can't just die from, say, like an arrow to the head, like the person in the lore video, quote unquote, that I just showed. There's no old age. However, death is still a concept. Okay, how long have you been on Mithria? It's another issue, because Mithria... This is just going to be a really poor drawing of Mithria, real quick. Mithria is kind of its own thing from the rest of the world. Think of it like the Bermuda Triangle. It's like the Bermuda Triangle. It's like the Bermuda Triangle. It exists in its own sort of like plane, and that includes for time as well. Time on Mithria is a thing. We do have a day and night cycle. We're not completely, like, cut off from the concept of time, but it is not equal to time in your guys' world, in Earth. And this isn't exclusively to Mithria. This does also apply to godly planes like Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus does have, like I said, a concept of time, but it's just like, it's different from humanity's. So you don't age. Yes, specifically, as long as I stay on Mithria, I don't age. It's like a weird double conundrum. So because of both belief, but also because of, also because of Mithria. Mithria just also kind of means I age differently than I would if I existed, say, in, I don't know, Tennessee. But yeah, that's how age works here, or like lifespan works. But yes, now that is there anything else people would like to cover? Either it's below 4 years or Kumo ages differently. I think this used to be. Is there hell, heaven, and purgatory after death, or something else? There is. Okay, it's a bit like Percy Jackson rules, if you've read the Percy Jackson series, where every and all afterlife exists at once, and you can basically end up in any of them, barring mythological beings. If it is something like I said, where humanity stops believing that sirens and mermaids have a link, and I disappear, I would not go to hell, I would not go to heaven, I would not go to any kind of purgatory, I would just cease to exist. The same as if you burnt a book. Is Kumo truly fallen? Kumo has been alive for 4 Mithrian years. Or kind of. If we're counting it in kind of like the physical aging humanity way, Kumo would have been alive for 4 Mithrian years. It's confusing. But what happens if they're remembered again? Do they come back? No. Sorry. The original people cannot come back. More of them can exist. Like, another siren maid could be born theoretically, or something that is again a merging of mermaid and siren traits. However, the original people cannot come back unless it's specifically like a legend about them. Say I forgot her name. There was this Egyptian queen who, if you don't know about Egyptian mythology, if you don't have a monument to remember yourself by, you basically cease to exist. You just live in this kind of like limbo. Because of that, in because of that, she ceased to exist because she subscribed to and followed Egyptian beliefs. But when she was introduced back, when her name and all her archaeological stuff was found again recently, that meant she came back to the plane of existence. She returned to existence. And because of that, so if there was, say, a legend about me, and that was what was recovered, that would mean that I reappear. However, that would then also mean siren maids technically could not be born, because it isn't the original thought process of siren and mermaid can merge in a form. So if we believe that is not British, will it be true? Let's not play around with that. Is there a power system? There is a power system, yes, but it's kind of convoluted, and I don't think we have enough time to get into it today. Until you're remembered again, right? They come back if they remember, right? I haven't read that manga, but I will read it now because that sounds good. Is there a Reaper in the world? If so, can sirens and other mythical creatures see it? That again depends on human perception or human belief. If they believe that sirens and other mythological beings have the capacity to see Grim Reapers, then they can see Grim Reapers. But if they believe that Grim Reapers cannot be seen by anybody except maybe the dead, then no one can see Grim Reapers. No one can see them at all. A different version of Natalia. But if they cease to exist, how do you get remembered again? It's if someone manages to pick up a story or tale about Natalia. Say, if I go back to Shisei and Shuta, these two are my best friends on the island. If they, in some form, manage to make contact with a human and said to that human, oh yeah, I had a friend called Natalia, and she was like this kind of person, she did this, and that human then went on to tell that story to other humans, and it spread around to enough humans for enough belief to be accumulated, I could therefore come back in that capacity. Nat, please share your powers with me. I want it for future knowledge. You can decline, but please share. It's convoluted. It is definitely something that I would have to dedicate another stream to and actually have proper slides for. Does Kumo ever get pupils? Wait, pupils? What do you mean? They're cool as hell. I love the one on the right. The Chuta? Yeah, Chuta, I will explain in a second their lore, because they do have their own lore and stories that I do want to delve into one day, but obviously first off I have to get Natalia's lore up and running. Pupils are stupid eyes. I didn't know if you meant pupils as a student or not. Start believing that as a 60-year-old granny, don't you dare. So they just physically cease to exist, but not historically. They don't conceptually exist, but just physically. They do cease to exist conceptually. Sometimes there is the capacity for other mythological beings to remember them, because they technically it's weird. Again, it depends. There's a lot of, it plays back into the power system a bit, where if you've only heard of the person in passing, or if you don't know much about the person, then they cease to exist, and any, also physically in the world, any traces of them cease to exist. But then if a certain, like I said, Chuta or Shisei do have they are potentially capable of remembering Natalia if she ever disappeared. So they would be able to go out and tell people about her, but that is only because of how close they are. Are the gods also bound by human beliefs? Yes, they are. They are only as strong as humanity allows them to be. How do they have stories if they conceptually cease to exist? It's weird, like I said, it's weird. The stories only exist if others share them. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Now, have you read Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint? This seems extremely familiar from when I started for the Power System. I have never read ORV, is that, I don't know. Kind of reminds me from Gluttony from ReZero. I don't know about Gluttony either. Word of mouth stories, exactly. It's how stories of gods used to be spread, where people would go around and tell them. Even though I will say, even if they do remember Natalia to an extent, their friendship did technically never exist. So the longer Natalia has been just erased from history, the longer I've been erased from history, the more time they're gonna forget. The more time passes, the more they're gonna forget her. Me. I don't know if we're gonna anymore. This is so Haktu. Thanks, Long. I'm sorry, I'm not up to date fully on meme culture, but I'm gonna pretend it's a compliment even if it's not. Literally, the entire Omniscient Reader Power System relies on the stories. Okay, here's the thing. It's not entirely stories. This is why I'm not saying tales, it's belief. The original stories about about sirens is that they were birds with the faces of beautiful women. And that's what's on urns, that's what's in their stories, like the Odyssey, stuff like that. But then there was a minor change where people started spreading rumors that they were merfolk, or similar to merfolk, and obviously that was codified. But even if that had just been word of mouth and had been generally accepted, then that would mean that, you know, that they would still have the whole mingling with mermaid things. Welcome in, desktop. Welcome in. I know Haktu, but I don't know if it's like a a good thing or a bad thing. Get it for a while. Bye, gang. Alright, Damon. Bye-bye. Okay, I think we get how... Can we move on now? Yeah, I think we should start moving on to just the writing advice portion. So a harpy? Harpies are the bird women. No, harpies and sirens are different. Harpies are... I can't... my brain isn't working enough to explain the differences off the top of my head, but sirens exist around bodies of water. Harpies are just kind of like in the general land vicinity is the best way to describe it. I just didn't know that loves Adventure of Sonic the Hedgehog. Nice. Alrighty, is there anything else people would like some clarity on, or are we ready to move on to the writing advice section? Yes, because you'd be great. Thank you. Well, this is specifically about VTuber lore. This can be applicable to other things, but this is specifically about VTuber lore. Harpies are more bird than sirens, right? I think so. I honestly... On one hand, I think it is actually sirens, but I'm not entirely sure. Why is your hair blue? I was just born that way, baby. Born with blue hair and pronouns. Hit me if I say need it. Have these mythical creatures many bouts in the world, or something that's altered the history of humans in the world? Sort of, but it's hard to tell because, like I said, the only reason... Sorry. The only reason humanity would know, or that even that the creatures would have had the capability to meddle in human history, is because those stories would have been told. So it's unclear if they actually did do the thing, or if it was just something a human made up and it became popular enough that it essentially became canon. yeah, for now we shall move on to the writing advice portion, which we're gonna start with, as you can see by my many faces around here. We are starting with your persona / main character. Let's just scroll this down a bit. Alrighty. Here we go. And the main question that you should want to ask is, what kind of person do you want to portray yourself as? What do you, from the perspective of a VTuber persona, a lot of what people will assume about you will come from your lore, if they watch that first, and also from how you tell people what your character is like. Obviously, when I tell people I'm a siren maid, they're like, okay, you have wings, you have a tail, you're associated with water and seemingly the night a lot. I don't know how that happened, but I started associating myself with the night, which ended up working in well because, you know, ASMR is meant to be relaxing to some extent. So that worked out well for me because it does play back into my content, and it just genuinely give you the kind of person I am, especially when you think about how mermaids and sirens, one of their main calling cards is their voice. So that ended up working, that works in your favor, because people know about me is I'm a siren maid, which means my lore likely, and ended up being the rest of my channel, has to do with my voice. And I just named the other things that's out of my head. This is fire, Nat, looking. If we form a religion that Nat is short, we should get even shorter. If we form a religion that Nat is the strongest entity in the world, she would be. That, sort of. Again, it depends on how much belief of that story exists. So if I try hard enough to imagine that as a vampire, you would have to convince a lot of people Natalia is actually a vampire. 11 years old and he still doesn't know my name is Brian. Yeah, that is the main thing, is if your lore is going to be the way that you present yourself as, unless you're like, the only like proper example that I can think off the top of my head that is completely different is Fulgur Ovid from Niji Sanji. His lore represented him as a stone cold, no nonsense kind of guy, but then when he actually did his debut, he specifically broke character and showed that he was just a goofball at the end of the day. He's just a goofball. So in some situations it works out well, where you're sometimes you can just be like, the lore can just be lore and your personality can shine through a different way. But if you are intending for a lot of people to know your lore and that you want them to take it seriously, you should be comfortable playing that kind of persona. Because at the end of the day, it is comfort. Fulgur, I love Fufu-chan. Oh my god, have you read Legatus Fire 5, the one that came out Saturday? I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I've seen so much fan art, and I so want to read it, but I want to read it so bad. I believe Natalia's French. Don't do that to me. I'm English. Don't do that to me. Okay. And then the next one, which is a very important thing, is how intense do you want your lore to be? Because again, this isn't as much as how you portray yourself personality wise, but depending on how intense your lore is gonna be like, is it sad boy hours or is it just goofy happy fun times? Because this will also reflect back into your content to an extent. If you have lore which is just like, I'm a dog and I eat treats and I accidentally chewed my squeaky toys too hard and it broke, so now I'm on a quest to find the ultimate squeaky toy. If it's something goofy like that, people are gonna expect you to be a goofy kind of person. But then if you're actually like, I'm John Wick, but instead of the dog dying, John Wick died, and the dog went out to avenge John Wick, then people are gonna be expecting some level of seriousness from you. Oh, bye, Sergio. Oh no, I need to shout. Oh no. Richard Frost, I heard it somewhere. Run! Run, whoever Richard Frost, run! I hope things are good for you, Miss Finn. Would you like a hug? Thank you very much tonight. I'm sure everybody would appreciate a hug right now. Thank you. I hope you enjoy stream so far. It's pretty mid. I can't be serious now. It's exactly. If you don't want to be taken seriously, then just don't do serious law. Don't do serious law. And then and here's the last bit is does your character's design match your story? So I am a siren maid, clearly. And you can tell that by the fact that I am blue, which is ocean and the color of like the ocean and the sky. I have wings for ears, which shows that I have bird qualities. I do admit I am I am lacking somewhat in the anthropomorphic side of things, which I do hope to rectify one day, but as of right now my design does properly portray that I am related to ocean to a degree, and it also does portray that I'm related to the skies to a degree. And also, if we go back to my actual, just real quick, if we go here, it shows with Natalia here on the lore stream thing, it does show that she's associated with the sea fairly well. Because, you know, she's wearing swimsuit clothes, she's wearing swimming trunks, and she's wearing a bikini top. My lore is so random, that's good. If you want random lore, that's good. I want to see Natalia with just the earwings. maybe one day. But yes, that's the main thing. These are the kind of main things that I would say when writing lore. I will just quickly say some tips about lore as well, is make it cohesive. Do not try to, with your main character, do not try to just bring in 101 things at once. Because I did that at one point, and as I was explaining my lore to a friend, they were completely confused as to what I was talking about. They were like, what do you mean? What is this? I thought we were over here, now we're over here. This, that, and no. It's harder to draw in other clothes though. Colors clash. It's fine. You can change the color palette if you want. I don't care. But you have to be able to keep a cohesive storyline. Like in what I just said there, it is lore. Natalia starts off, you have a bit of a prologue with Natalia's parents, forbidden love, and it spawns a child, or 2 children. It spawns me and my twin. Moving forward to a time skip, Natalia is living in isolation because of the Natalia and I are living in isolation because of, you know, the whole forbidden romance thing. Then we get attacked, and then we end up I end up in Mithria. There is a sequence of events there, and they do make sense. There is some details missing that make it seem a little bit jumbled, but overall, at the end of the day, they are like, you know, normal. There is a plot progression you could see there. You can't just say like, oh, my OC went to a coffee shop and then she was attacked by a dragon and then she unlocked ice powers and then she became president of the world. You can't just do that. You have to make sure that there is a certain line of progression with things. They couldn't withstand your nap. Well, is that a kid who absorbed the concept of reality and anti-reality? Ooh, that's cool. The best things to reference when writing a story is the Save the Cat beat sheet. Save the Cat Writes a Novel book is the best writing book I've ever touched. Would highly recommend. Nice. It makes me want to pick up my iPad and then maybe end up not drawing anything because I still have art block. Ah. You just described like a GGB fight. Oh, Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Honestly, kinda ended. So a training montage, essentially just treat it like a train. You have to have reasonable explanation as to how someone gets somewhere. Even if it's just like a 5-second drop in, as long as it's there, it works. But also just, have one line of plot, unless you're planning like a time story or something. I don't know. But yeah, other than that, I will say that these 3 things I have on the screen right now are the most important. Is your lore will reflect how people perceive you. The intensity of the lore will reflect what people expect from your content, whether it's going to be lighthearted, or if you're going to be semi-serious when you're doing stuff. And you have to make sure that if you're writing a story, then your character reflects the things they've gone through, like their fashion, whether it's their fashion style, whether it's the kind of like attributes they have on their body, just in general, the character reflects the story. So you have to keep that in mind. Next up, side characters, and it means I can talk about my girlies. So, okay, this lovely lady here, and I'm just gonna bounce around a bit because I can't drag her around. You guys can't see when I drag her around. This lovely lady is Shisei. Shisei will viewers be able to influence the modern world lore as future extension after all the Natalia lore is revealed? Yes, human belief, the belief fostered by humanity will always affect the world, the mythological world. That's just how it goes, regardless of time and place. Shisei, oh, 1 second. Shisei. Let me just... This is Shisei. I'm just gonna put it here. Oh no, I'm gonna put it on her forehead. And this is Chuta. And their names are literally on their foreheads. So Natalia Defend Defense Force is modern world lore in a way. Kind of, but also kind of not. They're Oni? No. See, Chuta is a succubus. She is one of the original succubus. She's not the original succubus, that goes to Lilith, but she was one of the first succubus to exist. Her lore is probably the darkest out of everybody's, but it is also it is what it is. It is what it is. Basically, before everything went, the reason why these two are so close as friends is because, like I said with Natalia, when she spawned into existence already as a mythological being, Shisei and Chuta were human before what happened to them. I don't know more about them. I'll start with Chuta because Chuta is pretty cool. Chuta, as I was saying, Chuta and Shisei, before everything, they were both human, and Chuta ended up becoming one of the first succubus. Back when the concept of succubus were starting to get spread around more, it was similar to the witch hunt trials, where people were looking around and thinking like, are you human or are you demon? Are you this new thing that I've been fear-mongered into, that I've been told to believe and fear-mongered about? Chuta, because as you can see, she's very pretty, she's very gorgeous, and she also attracted a lot of attention from men. People, therefore, in her community started believing that she was actually succubus in disguise. And at first she wasn't. She was a regular human. She was a regular-ass human, just living her life, trying to get by. But then one day, she woke up with these horns you see on the top of her head. And because of that that signaled that she had in fact become a succubus. And then obviously now that she revealed her horns, KB, I'm just letting you know I saw your message about coughing and that made me cough again. So they weren't conjured. These two weren't conjured, they were transformed. Sort of. Chuta was transformed, Shisei is a bit more tragic. Chuta, yeah, she was overnight became a succubus because the belief of those around her was enough to shift her from human to succubus. Because of that, she had to run away at risk of being burned at the stake. She didn't realize at this point that she wouldn't have died from it. But also, like, who wants to be burned at the stake in general? And then, similar to Natalia, some other events happened, but I won't reveal here because, like I said, I do want to expand on everyone's lore in this, so I will keep a couple details hidden. Similar to Natalia, she wandered for a bit and then she stumbled upon Mithria. Though she was a bit better. She didn't just wash up on the shore, she came by boat. Yo, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Nice. Jesus. This is for Kimi. She was human, how terrible. Yes. It was terrible. And then we get to Shisei, who... I know I just said, like, Chuta's is kind of the darkest, but that was actually a bit of a lie. Shisei's is the darkest. So, Shisei, in her human life, was an idol. She was part of a unit. A fairly on the smaller side unit. There was only 4 people. Well, starting those 4 people, then it went down to 3. She was part of a... But at the time of her death, she was part of a 3-person unit. And then what happened was the member that left started a fan war between herself and Shisei specifically. It was targeted towards all of the original group as a way to try to separate herself from it because she was sick of being compared to when she was in the group. But then it ended up mainly being put on Shisei because Shisei was the leader of the group. After that, Shisei was then attacked on stage, and as I said, she passed. She was in Mikomachi, yes. Mithria is starting to sound the island of misfit toys, a little bit. That light on the internet, how shameful. But yeah, Shisei therefore passed, but was then reborn as a yurei. And if you don't know what a yurei is, it's a Japanese type of ghost. Specifically, if you've seen The Ring, she's a bit like Sadako, where her hair is typically longer, she cuts it, but when she uses her power, it goes back to its original extremely long length. She became the kind of spirit that would yell at other women when a man with ill intent would approach them, because that's what happened to her. A man with ill intent approached her, and she perished from it. She died. She is canonically dead, kind of. She's undead. She's an undead spirit. And so she became a yurei. And then, so she says the thing about nanophasmophobia, essentially, yeah. That's a pug. Oh man, yeah. But then, as Shisei was just kind of... Shisei then... There were other yureis in the general vicinity, like... I will say here, as you probably know, because with Natalia, Natalia, I cannot be counted as having like an ethnicity because I never grew up in the human world, but my story comes from like Greek and English stories, like English tales about mermaids and Greek tales about sirens. Shisei and Chuta, as they grew up in the human world, they do technically have ethnicities. Chuta is Italian and Shisei is Japanese. And yeah, because of that, what's the word? There were other yureis about, others that were like Shisei, and they kind of had formed a community out of desperation to be around other people. because they couldn't be seen unless they were warning other women. But then one night, when Shisei was meant to warn a woman about a man coming to get her, she realized it was her former idol group member who inadvertently had caused her death, and that made her hesitate. And though the former group member didn't pass away, she was hurt. Not like massively, but she was hurt because Shisei ended up being able to warn her, but not quick enough. And because of that, the others in the group started to stop trusting her, because they thought she's not going to be able to, she's meant to be a protector, but she didn't protect someone just because of some petty reasons. And so because of that, Shisei was sort of quietly exiled from the group. And so she was like, okay, I don't know how to function as someone by myself. I've always been either with my group, with my managers, or with my fans. So she left. Bro, trying to just ask for 4 videos of the Yandere twins. Oh, you know what, fair enough. But yeah, give me the 4 videos of the Yandere twins and my life is yours. We'll see. But yeah, after that, Shisei wandered for a bit and then kind of just ended up on Mithria. It's unclear how she got there specifically. Like, Natalia presumably just sort of washed up on shore as she was knocked out. Tsuta arrived by boat, though the boat was misdirected from her original direction, or like destination. Take care, Scrungle, don't disappear. I'm gonna head out for a bit, gonna try to find my way off this mountain. You're on another freaking mountain. How can you stop going up mountains? Oh my god. But yeah, Shisei was she was ended up on Mithria, seemingly without any way of getting there, but people were just like, you know what, it's Mithria, we ain't gonna question it, welcome aboard, honey. Yes, here comes the sun. Do 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 do. Oh, oopsie doopsie. Ah. Anywho, ignore the letters and things that poked out. Scrunkle the Mousy Bandit. This is my sleeping agent world words in the games. Yeah. Well, with side characters, you will always need at least 1 or 2. They don't need to be named, only for like the role they fulfill. Like, say your character was this is lore that was released by someone else, so I can talk about it, that I wrote, was their main thing was their parents, and then they had their mother, they had their father, and then they had the general, like, mob background characters. And then with other people, you will have it where, let me try to think of someone. I try and think of, like, a better example. Shoto, the independent VTuber. I don't know why it's just the guys coming to my head right now, but that's where he's going. Yeah. Shoto, he had his childhood friend, and then he had the demons as a collective, and then as his lore's gone on, it's developed more into individuals in the demon race, but at the beginning it was just demon mob, human village, and then the best friend. If you want your story to have any form of progression, very rarely will it work if you just have one individual, if you just have yourself in it, because then it makes, first off, it just makes the world feel flat, because there's no other personalities around to interact with your characters and to show off who they are in certain situations. But also, it's just hard to get anything done without at least having one person to talk to, or like having someone that is the end goal. Here, as next point is that, kind of leading off from what I just said, is that good side characters will be a pushing force for your character's arc, whether intentionally or passively. Like, for instance, in Shoto, to go back to Shoto, in Shoto's original lore, his best friend dying was the catalyst for him becoming a demon slayer. Love your ASMR, so you're very immersing. Thank you. Orewa Ryo. Orewa Ryo. Sorry if I butchered that. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. BRB, gonna grab another glass of coffee. Glass? Cough, yawn, cough, nat, cough. Oh my god. Are you trying to make me yawn? Oh god damn, my cough though. Keep calling him Unk, guys. He loves to trust. My god. Yeah, good side characters will be a pushing force for your character's arc, whether intentionally or passively. And like in the lore that I just said about myself, it is the people around, even though Natalia doesn't have the people around Natalia are what force her to take action, and what force her onto Mithria, will force her into initial isolation after her birth, and then the people around her are then becoming more passive, so that she can then take center stage of her life for once. I mean, I covered out, sorry. You sound in pain. I'm sorry. Yeah, I took painkillers before stream, and like I said, I'm a bit on the mend, but I'm still just kind of like, meh. I believe KP is the god of coughing/disease. No offense, KP. Oh my god. Yeah, if you want stuff to progress with your character, you're gonna need other characters to, obviously who you are, like your persona should be the one with autonomy and should be able to make the progressions themselves, but at the end of the day, there's only so much they can do by themselves, and they would need someone else around them to either point them in the right direction or for them to fight or something. Don't make me KB. Why do you want me to yawn? You know what? Screw it. Screw this. I don't. There. Suffer. And it can also affirm that this applies there. Yes. Like, it doesn't seem like anybody's being nice to you and doing your, what you call it, Natalia, so maybe someone will be nicer and want me to yawn. And yes, make sure they don't share too many similarities with your persona/MC, or that their story arc outshines your persona's lore. As I've just said with Shisei and Shuta, I have their own stories, but those stories are self-contained and basically end once they get to Mithria. Natalia's story is going to continue past Mithria. That's just how it is. You should have Yon plus Natalia. Okay, fine. There we go. You know, if I will do Natalia and yawning. So you're saying they're technically static characters. They're technically static characters because the thing about VTuber lore, this is for VTuber lore specifically, with other things, with just like stories like anime or books, it is so important that your main character is like shines, but there's a reason why people fall in love with side characters. It's because they also are given more opportunities for them to enrich the story. With lore, while you should always have interesting characters, you should not allow them to shine too much, because the point of VTuber lore or just lore for characters in general is for them to be the most important. Your persona is an extension of you. If you portray yourself as boring in the face of your side characters, that is implying to your audience that you do not have much to offer, and it is the individuals around you that you should be taking note of, which obviously you don't want. Persona! When side characters begin to shine too bright, you better turn them into main characters, or otherwise the story will turn for the worse. Exactly. Well, side characters often steal the MC spot in most of the shows. They do, but if you do that in VTuber lore, you're basically condemning yourself. like Gojo. Sari's off lunch, I'm assuming. But yeah, this is, that's your side characters. That is what I would say for side characters. Still make them interesting, still flesh them out, still give them their own sort of, like... Even, I went a bit further by giving mine their own backstories, but you should just, like, just make sure that they don't, it doesn't take away from who you are portraying yourself as. So good as cheated. Disturbing the peace, look into my eyes. Hopefully I don't get copyright struck then shit. I think that was more than 5 seconds. Ah! Yeah, what about Bacon? Where'd Bacon go?
America, yeah, hello.
Oh wait, shoot. I was gonna get copyrighted. Yep. But yeah, also a little bit that I forgot to mention, as you can see here, both of them are holding microphones. That is because after coming to Mithria and becoming best friends, like these two are roommates, and they were roommates. These two decided to, after Shisei explained what idols are to Chuta, and this does somewhat relate back to the secret responsibilities that I mentioned at the end of my lore video, quote unquote. But yes, they decided to form a new idol unit specifically for the people of Mithria, because Mithria is sorely lacking in the entertainment industry. But now we have the Kumo, we have the companions / mascots. This one is going to be slightly less, because of what mascots are, this is slightly less focused on writing itself and more just discussing what you should be doing with companions and mascots. The main thing about mascots is that they are either meant to be representative of chat, such as Mori Calliope, finally remembered women exist. Mori Calliope, she has her deadbeats. They are her mascots and also her representatives of chat, or at least I think the deadbeats are kind of their mascots. The deadbeats are to represent her fans and stuff. I will be honest, originally Kuma was meant to represent you guys, then Yuno was drafted into the world. This is the obligatory character in every magical girl anime, exactly. Bacon would have said that. Kuma jump scare. Can't believe he's gone. Do you want him alive or not? Yuno, oops. But yeah, Yuno kind of accidentally became the representative of chat, but you know, Kuma's still here, and he's in the second category now. He's just here to look cute. Yes, you shouldn't, with these kind of like mascot characters. Actually, I'll explain that after I've done the other points. Here we go. Actually, it's just what I was about to say. Oh, I forgot my slides. Mascots and / companions. You know, mention. Yeah, mascots should be simple. They don't need an important story role, or sometimes they don't even have a story role at all. Like typically what I see with mascots or chat representatives is that they will exist a little bit, well, they wouldn't exist at all in the first lore thing, but if they manage to get a 2.0 lore, then, you know, they become existence. They become existence. Where are the 499 more Kumas, and why are there 499 Kumas? Came to me because we thought he's real, so he's part of the world by our thoughts. I'm like half lucky, but hearing all this while I'm still writing story when my lore is so self-affirming. Oh, but I'm glad it's helping you. Sorry, I'm glad. Hee hee. No, now right, calling the Kumo cooking club gonna be working together. Oh my god. Is Yuno technically a god because of the amount of belief we have for him? Yuno is, well, you guys believe he's a human, so he's a human. Ambrose, welcome in. Why does it have a wacky nose? It's a beak. I swear to god, it's a beak. Does Kumo have an ultimate form, like, other than a cute pet? Kumo does have a second form. I do not have art of it currently, and it is only applicable in a certain situation that I cannot describe yet because that is future lore. but, yeah. Kumo be Kumo, currently. Kumo just be tiny, but Kumo does have capacity to become big. Kumo evolution! A battle beast? A little bit, yeah. Make it yellow. No, don't make it yellow. Adult Kumo? Yeah, adult Kumo. I'm Yuno's creator. Canon lore, he will die, and then I'll cry about it even though I did. Don't kill him off. My god. We saw 5 first, so we cloned 500, turned the first one into potato. No! Is Kumo like packed from music? I haven't watched ReZero, I can't answer that, I'm sorry. But yeah, as you can probably tell, Kumo has like a minor role in the lore where it's kind of just like Natalia I get to Mithria, and then, you know, I do shizzle, and it's just I get to meet the people of the island. You know how I want the lore to pan out to the end for the camera to pan out an insane asylum? No. Yo, should I just claim Yuno so KB can't legally kill Yuno? Oh, we got another custody battle about to happen. You can't claim him, I made him. Yeah, sometimes you just don't even need to have mascots in the story at all. Basically the mascots are just there to protect you from being turned into a marketable plushie, or they're gonna be turned into one with you, which, you know, seems a bit fun, so, you know. Custody between father and son. Yes, again, mascots, there isn't much to say about them, as their main component is just there to look cute, and if you do want to make merch in the future, they're there for merch purposes. I didn't have a picture of Mithria, so I just grabbed, the Pokemon image. we don't talk about it, we don't talk about it. Father, can we share custody? Oh my god. Next is... Yeah, unless your lore is about your persona / MC main character coming to a new environment, the environment they are in should play a large part in explaining why your character is the way that they are. Essentially, obviously, there's a whole thing of nature versus nurture. Part of nurture is the environment someone grows up in. And because of that, it should therefore play an aspect in how they act. If your main character grew up in an extremely rich household with money being thrown at whatever they wanted the second they wanted it, they're not going to be humble. They're not going to be counting coins it costs to buy a pack of paper towels. They're not going to be wondering what they should do for dinner the next night, because that's all going to be prepped for them. They don't have to worry about money because it's going to be paid for instantly. They're not going to, and there's going to be some aspects of life they just don't understand because of how sheltered they've been. That is just how some lore is. Or then you have and even with characters who are intentionally or intentionally seeking out new places, it's going to be because where they are is become so regular for them. Pokemon, stop laughing at the Pokemon. Because where they live is just so basic to them that that's what causes them to go out. So you should portray the place as a basic place. And also, there's going to be some subtle culture differences. The paper towels always return. What's the currency in this place? In Mithria, it's a bargaining society. Natalia, by the way, you guys want to get better defense for Kumo? The guy who stole Kumo's DNA backstabbed like all the guards and the door somehow? For a leak of reason, what's a joke? So no, not communism. Just, bartering, yeah, that's what I mean. I gotta head back to work, I'll be back in 2 hours. We will probably have been ended by then, MapPam, but thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy what you, catch up on the VOD, if you come back for the VOD. We now have Natalia, and Natalia. I mean, we don't have Natalia, we haven't had Natalia for ages, unfortunately. Yeah, unless lore is about your personas, Even if they are intentionally leaving their environment, there will be subtle cultural differences from where they grew up to the new place they're going to. A great example is Ariel from The Little Mermaid, of all people, is how she's grown up with under the sea, so she doesn't understand many human concepts and has to rely on the seagull to tell her about them. So when she gets to the human world, she's obviously acting very wrong by human standards. Same, I can still hear her meows. Drink some water, Nat. I do have to drink left, hooray. When's the last time we saw Natalia? God, like ages ago. Like last year, I think. Oh, Basan, that is like, I'm not no Basan. Yeah, so you have to just make sure that where your character grew up makes sense as for who they are. I think I only have like 2 on this one. Yeah, I only have 2. Yeah, you need, and also treat your environment like it's its own character. Its culture is its personality, its landscape is its looks, etc. This, to be fair, you don't have to go in as much depth as, say, like you would, like Apothecary Diaries does, because you only have like a 5 minutes at most typically with lore videos, unless you go like bucket loads of. Even then, most people are only like 1 minute long. If you're an indie, you're about 1 minute long. If you're corpo, you get about 5. Or if you're a well-off indie, you can manage like 10 minutes. I've seen one lore video. It was a long one. Wait, Homestuck shit. So basically, it makes them like Homestuck. Not really, kind of. You can still have it be unique in its own way. Like, you can have an underwater world. You can have an above air world. You can have just a regular city. But you should always. The thing is, a writing tip that I know, and like I kind of subscribe to, is always make sure that even if it doesn't get said in the story, you as the writer need to know every little detail about this thing, about a character or about a place. I wouldn't say fully for VTuber lore that should be true, but you should know the general broad strokes if it's gonna be like, if the environment is gonna be a major part of your character's story, then yes, you should know every little detail about the environment. But if it's just like a backdrop thing, as long as you have the broad strokes and you know how you want that kind of society to function, or how it appears to function to the audience, then that is all you need. These tips are actually really helpful. Thank you, Dad. You're welcome. If you tell her like, whoa, wide voice range you can write, that's insane.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh god, Zero Flappy don't fight, oh my god. Was it Bacon? Is that why he's go? Oh god, Bacon. Bacon would not do that, he's innocent. I think Starship would beg to differ with how he was treated as the son. Yeah, that is the basics of writing VTuber lore for me, or from my perspective. Q&A! We kind of already had a bit of a Q&A with talking about my lore, but if there's any questions you guys have with the lore, like that you as individuals have about like whether advice for your own lore, or if there's some further details that I haven't mentioned here that you would like to know about, please take the time now to ask and I will answer them. This isn't just relegated to this stream, by the way. If you pop in like any stream and you say like, hey, I caught your lore stream, and I would like to ask you about this specific thing, I'm happy to answer at like any stream. Obviously this is just a more appropriate time to do it, but if you're gonna do a Q&A, shouldn't you check that one thing? What one thing? Rate the convolutedness of the lore on a scale of 1 to 10. It just depends, really. It depends whose lore we're talking about. What kinds of story aspects or story interactions that pique your interest the most? For me, I'm a very character-driven kind of lore person. I think that or just story in general. I think stories that focus on the characters rather are the ones that are the most interesting. Whereas, though that's not to say that action-based stories aren't interesting, I'm just more of a characters kind of person. The website where you had us put the questions. No, this is just like a this now thing. I mean, I can answer marshmallows as well. It's what would happen if we were to fall in love with Natalia? I'm gonna have to unfortunately be unable to answer that because of hidden lore. Why are there no seaweed? Because drawing is hard. Marshmallow? Yeah, marshmallow. Alright. Marshmallow, yeah. I can, honestly, with marshmallows, I can answer them at any time. I can answer them, typically it'll let you just answer straight on Twitter, but I can just, like, screenshot and then just also answer it on Twitter. Not Twitter, what's the law? The law? What's the name? YouTube. Wow, I'm tired. Just to check, none of this really happened, right? If you know, you know. None of this really happened. None of this really happened. Discord, are you okay? No, YouTube. I meant YouTube. I can put it on the Discord, I can put it on the YouTube, I can put it on the Twitters, I could do it. No, I'm not okay. Can't really watch streams because work and college, they're bound to be forever stuck. That's okay. Honestly, even it doesn't, to me, I do not mind. You are able to do as you wish. Has there been like retcons of the lore thus far? Retcons are when a story has already been written and published and then it's changed in the future. There have been rewrites. Shisei's story, Shisei and Shuta have had their stories like dampened down a bit because they were a lot darker than originally, but so I won't share what they were originally, but there's been no retcons. Can I give you 20 quid to give me feedback on my lore when I finally dropped it? Yeah, sure, Sari, I do have that in my commissions thing, just letting you know. I don't know anymore, oh my god. Oh, we're cooking up a new fix soon, yay! It's okay, Nat, you know, make you okay? Seafood boil, KB. I'm gonna ban Natalia. I meant to say I'm gonna ban Natalia, but I said ban Natalia. Or can we do marshmallows? I have a marshmallows thing. I can't do it now, but I might be able to do it now, actually. One second. Okay, I can't actually. 1 second. Beyond, no, beyond, like beyond, like beyond, like Natalia, don't ban Natalia, please. Well then, stop being a silly Billy, or else. 1 second. I'm going to college. Look at me, I'm a big boy on campus. Okay, kind of. If that's the case, be well, Flappy. It's probably the last stream I could be active in. I'm getting a lot more busy in the coming days. That's alright, Flappy. Thank you so much for taking the time to join any of the streams, by the way. Even if you're just here as a passive observer, I greatly appreciate it. Any, just genuinely, any interaction with one of my streams is just so helpful. I'll never see the Natalia model again. I don't think it ever existed, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to just put the link to my marshmallow in the description. Wait 1 second, I have to find this thing. You'll... Okay, I can't do it that way, crap. Crap. Okay, you know what? Eh. There we go, it's there for now. It's there for now. Domestic husbandos. But yeah, does anybody have any more questions? Any questions?
Yibba.
Sorry, my head started hurting. Plus I forget. Probably, but I'm put on the spot. It's okay, like I said, I'll add that to the description and I'll also pin it in the comment section. So, and I think I'm just gonna start adding it to, the descriptions of all my streams, honestly. Maybe I did take pain medicine. I am going poor because I'm just having to buy because I'm so sick and it's going on for way too freaking long. I'm going poor from having to constantly buy pain medication. I don't appreciate it. I feel better now. Ibuprofen. I finally yawned. Congratulations. How many younglings are there on the island? There's a few. I really wanted to see a gate anime-esque arc in this based on the little lore I know. Maybe. I hope a bowl stew makes you feel better. I'm probably gonna go to sleep right after stream. Oh, I got no marshmallow. Let's see, did I miss any important lore? Nah, mainly just kind of, didn't. What kind of fic do you want to see in the future? I want more plans that I have already. By the way, you totally did not know who wrote this. Totally not Starjo. How many can't hide them for me now? I'm reading off the marshmallow. Honestly, I kind of just want to let people's creativity flow. I don't want to dictate fanfiction, and I don't want to dictate art either. Like, there are things like art-wise, but that I like to see, but that's mainly because of that's just being able to dress up in other outfits. The stream's an awesome sauce. You sound so tired now, it's true, so you can sleep. Our sleep stream. Our things, what's up, Nat? Oh no, I just mean in general. Like, obviously, I can't really change my clothes the way a normal person does. I have to rely on art for how I present my image. So there's a couple times, or like when I'm doing the ASMRs, there's only so much I can do with a character in a certain outfit. So that's fun. Happens when a frog's car breakdown, it gets towed. Thanks, Nat, for the super duper stream. Very helpful. I'm glad. If there are no more questions, I think I may take some advice from you lovely individual. Oh, never mind. There's a new marshmallow. Yo, Nat, could the character believed into existence believe as something and that count towards it or no? I really hope you get better from the conflict. Thank you very much. Could the character believe in its existence and that count towards it or no? No, because only humanity holds the power of belief. Only humans have the power of belief, and therefore, if the mythological being, a mythological or legendary being cannot therefore use their own belief to make something come real. That was my question. Thank you for the question, Doello. Probably watched the body back to see how I miss. Nice. You do time it gave me the entire time. Just go lock in and furiously write down notes. Want stew? No, I don't want stew from the cooking club. I know what's in it. you put in that still. I'm not eating my baby. But yeah, I think those are the only questions coming in. I'm not sure where we ask. You can ask the questions here. I don't mind. You can ask them here. It's just if people want to ask them anonymously. You don't have to ask them here. But then the only thing on Marshmallow is that I can also answer them on Twitter. So you don't have to like try and find the timestamp in the VOD. You can just unless you've clipped it already, you can just go back to Twitter and type in like the keywords and then just like save the tweet I make. Would it become a paradox if the mythical being is able to influence humanity's belief or perceptions? Oh, new one. It just came through for me. Okay. Oh god, that's a lot. Do the supernatural beings siphon belief off of each other and that empowers them? No, as I said, only humanity holds the power of belief. Do humans also have the ability to use belief, or is it exclusive to supernaturals? Humans, like I said, humans are the only ones who can harness the power of belief. It is humanity's belief that allows the existence of mythological and legendary beings. Humans, but that also means that they cannot be affected by their own belief. Like a human, like even if a human believes that they could fly, that does not mean that they can fly. It's just if a group of humans believes that Kumo can fly, then Kumo could fly. He said or Kumo is scary and soulless. And what character archetypes would you consider Natalia and Nephilis to be right now? Natalia? I'm not sure what I would consider myself, because, well, I'm me. It's a bit hard to put myself into a box. And it's an issue with Nephilis as well, because I can't say her archetype without giving away some spoilers for things. So I'm sorry, but the last one's gonna have to remain kind of unanswered. So essentially we're catalysts. Yes, you are catalysts. Oh Jesus, that's what came through then. Now, what would you say if I said in chat that I would release the escape fic in a couple of days, but in secret I upload it tonight? I mean, I wouldn't be mad. Say if someone says something had mind control abilities, could they force others to believe in making them stronger or something? Kind of. They could exert that influence, that mind control, but it would only, I would say it would only work temporarily. Like the second they stop using the mind control, then that belief is gone. That belief, it's hard because it is humans therefore technically believing it, but also it isn't humans that are thinking that thought. It's being implanted. It's not a secret anymore. People totally do not know what I'm doing. Sorry, Sandra. But yeah, is there any more coming through? Okay, that seems to be the end of the questions, so I am going to... Are you writing big dog? But yeah. So, because that seems to be all the questions, I will be ending stream here tonight. If any more do come through, I will just... Oh, never mind. Okay, there's one more, or a couple more. Just one more. How many beans has Kumo eaten? He does not eat beans, he eats the lava rocks.
I the yummy lava rocks. But I guess I could try. Maybe I could try beans.
I don't know, buddy. It's up to you.
Well, do we even have beans on Mithria?
You know, I have no idea. Why didn't the mermaids and the sirens just make their presence known to the public? It's hard. It's hard because, okay, first off, sirens, when they see humans, they just eat them. so it's hard, therefore, for things to carry on when their thing is to eat them. And then mermaids also, their duties is protecting the sea, so if they left and went to land, that could compromise them. There's also the issue of, as humanity has progressed and become more self-sufficient, people in the mythological people in the mythological world don't want to they're worried that humanity would try to start a war, essentially. They're like, because a lot of the times when a human sees something that's more impressive than them, their first instinct is to either capture it or kill it. Or at least that's how the mythological creatures view humans. How many lava rocks has Kumo eaten, and when is his birthday?
I haven't eaten that many today because Natalia is not letting me eat that many.
You ate 500 yesterday, Kumo.
It's fine. I'm fine. And also my birthday, I kind of forgot it again.
It's okay, Kumo. We'll figure it out one day. Hey Natalia, wanted to thank you for most of your ASMR. It's been days, couldn't sleep well, and your videos always help to it. Thanks again. Thank you so much for coming in and saying that, Eli. I'm so glad that my ASMRs could help you. I'm so glad. I'm working on a gown Nat art and accessories. You want to add, Nat? I like the bracelets that gals have. So I guess bracelets, unless you've already done that. I know what it's like because that's how I joined too. I do have a few people saying that, and it does warm my heart to know that I'm having that positive of an effect on people. I have to be honest. Try not to sound embarrassed saying that right now because it feels like I'm putting myself on a pedestal. I swear to God, I'm not. Yeah, Kumo, what is your opinion on Flappy Addiction eating you?
Please do not eat me. I am not that tasty, please.
I was about yeah, I do not need your sass. I do not need your sass, KB. I do not need your sass. But yes, let me clear why I say this Q&A quite a few times now. Please get I'm going to sleep now. I'm going to sleep. The questions have been answered. I'm going to sleep. So thank you all so much for joining. I hope that you have enjoyed my lore and that all the tips I have given you today will be helpful in some capacity for you, whether as a regular writer, as an aspiring VTuber, or as just, you know, I hope you just found it interesting. So, satisfaction, KB, shush. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, KB. Stop stealing my lines. I'll enjoy upload today, yeah. But, I hope one day in the future, I know we had the MS Paint, technically lore video, but I do hope one day that I'll be able to have enough funds to do a proper lore video, because it's oh gosh, it's the reason why I haven't actually done a lore video yet, and why I keep saying like, oh, I want to make a game for my lore, is because it's just cheaper. It's just technically cheaper in the long run. So, you know, maybe when I open up memberships, because I still need to go around to doing that, maybe that's what I'll have on the membership streams, is me making the lore game, or just anything. Before you go, will you ever post female for female? It's unlikely, I will say, but it's not completely off the table, because the reason I do female for all is because I want everyone to feel included with my videos, but I have had a couple people ask for female videos, so I mean, Pride's coming up. I could do it for Pride. The only thing is that it's like, yeah, there's female for male videos out there. There's a lot of female for male videos out there, and I know there's not a lot of female for females, but I'm not completely uninterested in doing it. It's just I like my ASMR being applicable to a large range of people where they can go into it and they don't have to worry about gender terms ruining the experience. Whether that's because you're male, because you're female, or because you're you're something in between. Yeah, it's just some people just want female only. Yeah, because if it's just because they want to feel a bit more immersed in it, or because they just want some kind of like gender affirmation. This isn't me doing a dig. That's just how it is. Yeah, it's more like for everyone, and I don't know, female for females rare stuff is like finding diamonds, let's say. It is. There was a female for female channel I used to watch, and they got deleted off of YouTube, so that hurt. So my goodness, I will try. My thing is, I want to make sure that all these donor flame goals are done, even if it is slightly out of order. I just want to make sure they all get done. But yeah, yeah, I will say for now, I'm good. Oh god, I'm please go to sleep. I will be going to sleep as well. Anyway, yes. Oh, I hope no, you didn't sound insensitive at all, Stalgio. It's a genuine question to ask. It's not like it's gonna like negatively affect anyone. We are throwing hands if you don't take care, bro. Fine, fight me. I'll go sleep. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining. Maybe one day we'll have a lore video. At one point, hopefully, we'll have something lore related. Maybe something female for female related for Pride Month, or just anything. We'll see, we shall see. But yeah, until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Or I think a bit in the future, possibly. Don't respond, but please keep in mind, go to sleep. Maybe in the future. If you don't go sleep well, we'll make KB become emergency food. No, don't turn KB into Paimon. Anyway, sorry, yes. You just got here and you're bullying me. I mean, you bully me, so it comes full circle. Ellie the Combo Bringer by Sextalia. See, and I will see you when you see you. So is me, guys. It's not always you, it's usually me. But yeah, sorry. I need to get off. Thank you all so much for joining. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Mwah. Thank you. Bye bye. I'm ending now, KB. I'm not gonna respond to that. Bye bye.